Okay, we are on part two of a 6 app teardown, and we'll focus on the upsell motion for these top 6 apps. How do these guys get you to pay them? By the way, teardown isn't a great word for what we're about to do. It's more of a behavioral science pattern matching activity. We are trying to figure out what they do that is similar to each other and we can learn from. Okay, so if you are a consumer app that has free and paid tiers, you have to work really hard to convince someone to pay you because free is the default. I like this idea that tattoo parlors, they give out these free tattoos some days and people line up for them. And the wild thing is, many people in line weren't planning on getting a tattoo, not just that day, but ever. They were motivated by the allure of free to get a tattoo. And this is wild. It's a permanent thing on your body, and free should not be enough to overcome it, but it is. And that's really what these consumer apps are fighting against. And so, what many are moving towards, and I'm very supportive of, is flipping the script that the default is paid. So, every app in here, every app introduces their paid version in the first session. And for many of them, you just don't get much if you don't pay. And Calm and Headspace are known for this. And honestly, I love it. Why? Because paying for something creates a commitment moment. Do I like this enough to pay for it? And by deciding, one, you're likely to use it more. You've had this decision moment where you've thought deeply about it and you've gotten your credit card out. That's what I mean by thought deeply about it. And it also allows these companies to engage in self-selection and invest more in you because they know that you are a committed user versus a lurker. But if these apps don't convert you in the initial ask, then the user is just hanging out in the free app using it. And these applications have a much harder job. And I think what they've all done is taken a show, don't tell model to the problem. And what I mean by that is within the experience, these apps are actually showing you the counterfactual of what life could be like. So examples, MyFitnessPal and Slack basically allow you to try to add things and then tell you, block you and say, hey, it's paid. This allows the user to see more concretely how the feature could fit into their lives versus just what is classic, a marketing banner or a pop-up or a prompt or something. I would also say that Slack probably wins further here with features that actually matter to the user. So a paid feature of Slack is this 90-day history. So in the free tier, you lose everything past 90 days. And this is basically required if you're going to use Slack for anything real, right? And they put it front and center in their workflows. I also love AllTrails for this. As a quick tangent, I think they have the best paid feature ever, which is downloads. So AllTrails basically is an app that has lots of trails in it. And you kind of need, if you're a real user of AllTrails, you need that download function because you're in the backcountry hiking and there is no Wi-Fi. But they don't promote it with banners or pop-ups. They basically allow you to try to download the trail you want and then say, I'm so sorry, it's a paid feature. And this gets me my highest motivation point because I don't generally, it's not like overall I want to download trails. I want to download this trail today for my hike, right? Very, very clever. Okay, so how do these apps actually promote premium? How are they talking about it? Or how are they talking about their paid features? And it seems like there's one theme in here that is they are using concrete stats. They're telling you, your life will be 54% better. Your life will be 4.2x better, right? This is really nice because it's concrete and they're talking about the benefit. If I were to slightly tweak this, and I'm surprised they don't do this, honestly, is that they could more lead with emotions. So Sarah has achieved 3 more personal bests last month when she upgraded, and she only wishes that she had done it sooner, right? This is called regret aversion, thinking about my future self and not wanting to make a mistake. And we're kind of really pairing that with identifiable victim, which is like, look, we're more compelled to act by seeing the plight of one versus many. So it seems like all of them are talking about the benefit in a numerical way, and possibly there's some gains to be had by going a little bit more emotional. The second trend here when talking about their paid features is to try to convince me that their paid features are amazing by building some sort of anticipation. So in one case, Headspace has you, sign up for the account before telling you about the paid features. In probably the most compelling case is Duolingo, which you basically have to tap start, yes, I want the free trial. Yes, I want the free trial. Yes, I want the free trial before they tell you the price. So you've basically said yes, 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 like 3 times before you actually are offered the opportunity to get it. And I think, there isn't research to back this up, but if you look at like infomercials for vitamins, like you have to scroll all the way down to actually get like the buy button. So there could be something here. There could be something here. The other thing that they're doing is really a tell me why you like me sort of thing, which I like and our team does a lot. We've had some success at doing this, which is basically you're asking people to answer questions about how they would use the app. And this is not them telling you why they're great. This is you telling them why they're great. And so you're kind of creating this commitment. How great can we be for your lifestyle? What for Strava, it's like, what sports are you most interested in? And basically by asking questions, and I think this is the new norm within these apps, my guess is it increases motivation to continue because the app is visualizing how better their life will be, right? Okay. Moving on to generally some other small tactics, which is it seems like all of them are doing this kind of transparent free trial thing, which is telling people that you will tell them that the trial will end. This likely decreases uncertainty that you'll be trapped. And there is some stat out there, Blinkist said that trial rate bumped when they did this. And it does seem like since most of them are doing that this is either the norm or it actually really works. The other pretty consistent trend here is how they're presenting prices. So all of these consumer apps are presenting 2 options. This is different from enterprise apps, which basically give you 3 options and maybe an enterprise decoy, like give us a call. In this consumer app world, it's 2 options. And this is quite clever. In one world, they could just offer you one option and give you a discount or something. But clearly they have found that this model, this or that, is pretty powerful. I'll explain that. I've talked about this before, so forgive me if you've heard, but this is the toddler example. You would never offer your toddler to put on a raincoat. You would say, hey, do you want to put on this raincoat? They're going to say no. Obviously, they're going to say no. You would say, do you want to put a raincoat or a winter coat? Now, all of a sudden, they've forgotten that no exists, and the decision is between these 2 options. And that's kind of what this type of framing offers, especially when there's a recommended one, especially when there's a discounted one. They're really giving you kind of a decision frame and making it hard for you to say no. You reject the annual, but you go for monthly because now it looks like you could, it's a smaller number, even though annual is obviously a bigger number. Okay, and the final kind of lesson in the tactical sense here in the upgrade flow is what they're putting in the button. And it's very consistent. Almost all of these apps lead with either free or $0 in the button. It's basically funny too because we're using free because they're doing this to do the free trial. So we're using free as a weapon against free. And you see that really in 2022, Slack launched, one of their a premium feature, and they have changed it since to start free trial. So there's something here, right? That the allure of free does work. It's just, do you use it to get people to the paid tier, or are you using it to keep them on the free one? Okay, so I think as a macro lesson here about upgrading, because we've talked about kind of micro ones in the UX design, I think a lot of these apps are targeting a high willingness to pay group, and that is also what makes their upgrade motion pretty successful. So in the MyFitnessPal one, you are targeting people who want to track things, right? In Strava, you are targeting people who want leaderboards. Like, you have to be a committed Strava user if you want a leaderboard. And so these people, this is again self-selection, and they may already be committed to the solution area, and they know that they need the solution to be successful. This is the All Trails example as well. And this may work, right? This actually could be a successful strategy to really get the high willingness to pay folks, build features for them, and that could kind of fund even your free users. And finally, I'll end with an example that we have from an experiment that our team did, led by Richard Mathera, which is how to make a decision at all. And this is kind of, in general, we think people should just like the feature. They should just like the feature. Like, I built this feature, it's great. So we supported Steady to build and launch this free income tracker, and it's a great feature. You basically sync, you see all your income together in one list. Amazing. And then people have to sign up for it. And to do that, they have to do something hard, like sync their bank account. And adoption was low. And we just changed kind of the decision frame at the point that people were making the decision to get the feature or not. And we did something called forced choice, accept or decline. Very scary, right? What if people decline it? Turns out more people accepted it when we had the option to decline. But the point here is more, you could build the amazing premium features, but how you're asking people and how they think about value for your features, what they perceive to be valuable matters. And this is something that actually moves. You can manipulate this and help people understand how your feature that you spent so much time building is actually valuable to their lives.